The theme of the show is gratitude. It's being in a state of gratitude for who you are. I told the story last week of my friend John Impey, who's an osteopathic physician who's been helping me with my neck issues and so on. So I see him about every week or so, and we've established a wonderful relationship. And he was with the Dalai Lama when he was 23 years old, and the Dalai Lama was in his 40s, and they were in India. And he said to the Dalai Lama, because this is like he knew this was going to be his one chance to ask him something, and he's the kind of guy that would. And he said, what is the secret? What is the one thing that if I could just get it and understand it, that I could have, a life of happiness? And he said, the Dalai Lama just looked at him and said, every day, he said, just be in a state of gratitude for the fact that you were born at the time that you were born, that you were allowed to come into this world of form from the invisible world of spirit. Just be grateful for that here you are alive and breathing, and coming from a place of love, returning to a place of love, and just stay in that state of, don't try to figure out what to do, or, that's the theme from the song, the times we were happy were the times we never tried. Don't try. Just that state of, oh my goodness, it's really an amazing thing to be alive, and to be alive at this particular moment in the infinity of time. And to come from that place of, then you start looking at everything that you look at, like you look at the divorce that you went through, and how a year has passed. And instead of looking at it as a failure, as all the things that's, that went wrong and so on, you just go to the wonderful experience of just being able to be loved and in a loving relationship with someone, and then to have it to run its course. And then you get into another relationship, and instead of looking at it in terms of, oh my gosh, this thing's going to end and poor me and whatever, and go through all of that, it's like just be so grateful for the opportunity to just have been there, and then also for the opportunity to have had an end. I mean, that's just as much of a beginning, because with every door, every door that closes, another door opens, and you can't move along until you get past whatever it was that you had to do at that place. And instead of always thinking about what did I do wrong, or what can I do, or how's it not working out, it's just like total sweet gratitude for everything and everyone that you encounter. And before you know it, that's all you have to give away. And that's really what divine love is. It's the old story I've told a million times about the orange. If you squeeze an orange, you get out of it what's inside. And it doesn't matter who squeezes it or what time of day they squeeze it. And the same is true of us. When we are squeezed, when pressure is put on us, when things don't work out, and out of us comes anger, it's not because of anything that anyone else did to us. It's not because of the timing. It's because that's what's inside. And that means you take total responsibility for it. My daughter's book is just coming out right now. It's called I Can See Clearly Now. And one of the stories she tells in there, she says, in our house, because it's about being raised by spiritual parents, by her mom and I, just people who practiced, all kinds of crazy things in life. And she said, in our household, this is in one of her chapters, there was a 5-letter word that began with B, and no one was allowed to say it, ever. And, of course, everyone thinks of what that word might be. And she said, and the word is blame. We were never allowed to blame anyone else whenever that word would come up, or it's not my fault or whatever. She said, my dad would always come at us and remind us that no one can make us angry without our consent. No one can make us unhappy unless we allow ourselves to have that. So if you change the way you process things in your life, everything in your life changes. It's that famous line that I have from The Power of Intention. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you have only inside of you love and kindness and joy and appreciation and gratitude for everything, even the falls, because those falls, if you read I Can See Clearly Now, the falls are the things that made us able to get to a higher place. It's like I always tell people that I spent the first 10 years of my life in a series of foster homes and an orphanage. And I believe it was so that I could really learn about self-reliance, that you have only yourself to rely on. And it's almost as if my journey required me to get to really know that from an actual experience perspective. And once I had that realization and spent 10 years doing that, and also taking care of a brother who wasn't very strong and was hurting in a lot of ways. And now that I'm 74 years old, that's 64 years I've had of a complete absolute knowing that anything you put your attention on and you have yourself to rely on, that you'll be able to pull it off. No one can take that away from you. And once you have that real strong, solid, experiential knowing that this has nothing to do with vanity at all, those thoughts won't even come to you. And other people, when they do express them, it'll just be something that slides right off of you. You'll hardly even be able to notice it.